Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook on Wednesday, the 19th of April. Starting with the euro dollar yesterday, we saw quite a shove up. We pushed up through much further than I expected, actually, pushing up through the monthly pivot there. And well, we held and we ran and ran actually on yesterday, and I did warn traders yesterday we could see some continuation of this sort of move through the evening session. And yeah, it sold off a little bit through the Asian. It certainly went through yesterday's evening, carrying on pushing upwards and consolidating. We have got the daily pivot below us, which could see uh, be be touched, but at the moment, I'm wondering whether the strong momentum will see us pushing up further. Just coming back to the dailies for a moment, and there's little in the way of resistance, near-term resistance. Daily 200 could be there at some point. I'm not suggesting today, but it could be there at some point. From a weekly perspective, well, we had, well, just looking at where we are with these weekly pivots, and we're already up into the sort of R2 zone, but they're in such a pinch from the previous sessions. But well, even that looks pretty bullish to me for further upside. So I wouldn't be trying to stand in the way and trying to catch a top at the moment. I'm more interested in really trying to catch the swings long with the move, if there are some. Looking at the pound. Similar picture to the euro. Snap election call yesterday really it was a bit of a shocker in the sense of the market. I mean, it didn't know how to react to initially selling off the pound and then a super rally. We haven't seen a day like this since, well, way back when it got oversold significantly oversold with a huge gap. So it's been a while, certainly increasing the volatility in the markets. And again, when we start coming down the time frames here, it's already out of the weekly R3. It's beyond the weekly zone, and it's running towards the monthly R2 pivot there. Looking bullish flag at the moment, and well, it's yeah, certainly looking that way. Now there is a chance I mean, with both the euro and the pound, we could start selling off towards their daily pivots, but at the moment, the pound is a bit more stayed this morning. It seems to have a little bit less movement in it, but it's not actually as little as it really looks on this chart relative to the euro. And I think we could, I mean, if there could be the opportunities to try and trade any further upside on this. Dollar yen. Well, yesterday I remained bearish most of the day, and it paid off bearish most of the day. Looking at where we are here on it, well, it looks like well, maybe it's got some potential to the upside here, but still the big picture is bearish overall there. Is it hooking round? Yes, it is on the 4-hourly now. My preference is still to the downside when you've got such a strong trend in it. It has got an untouched weekly pivot, which could cause a draw, of course. It's above its daily pivot, so it's putting all the sort of maybe that just sort of bottomed it out a bit yesterday. If you can get above the hourly 3400 moving average, well then, yeah, we could be looking towards the R1, maybe back towards the prior highs from yesterday, so and onwards. But at the moment, I'm still wondering whether it'll roll from here. Okay, Aussie dollar, my favourite currency. He lies. Big sell-off here. Again, it sold off yesterday where the euro, the pound was rallying. It's okay. We've seen a markdown on oil yesterday, and it's followed suit really, and it's run through again through the Asian session here. I looked at this really late last night, and when I got back from the training, and it sort of had run into that 21, and it's so tempting to short it, but I don't like taking trades on the Aussie dollar at the best of times, let alone through an Asian session there, when it could have, of course, continued pushing up, but well, it has sold off there, and to me it still looks relatively weak. Already clicked onto the daily pivot S1, Um, well, it looks like it could be on for a further downside at this rate. And the Canadian dollar finally, in fact, let's just flick onto oil. You see the price of oil, where oil sits at the moment at 52.35. It's picked up a bit actually. It's not no, anywhere near as bad as it had been. So back to 52.35. But Canadian dollar here. Okay, so weakness in terms of the strength of the US dollar against the Canadian dollar here, still pushing up. There's all sorts of comments. I think it's more the future sort of comments that are coming up that the shale oil, etc., is starting to be produced in greater quantities, and of course that will put pressure on oil prices. So, well. As we're looking here, it looks like it's got more upside potential. Just looking at it, I mean, it's already clipped through its weekly pivot yesterday, and it looks like it could well be on for those prior highs there, and it's into its sort of chop zone. Any any strengthening in oil prices today, and any move to the downside here, and we really need to break the 8. Probably it may just come back towards that 21 again. Has been tested before, so it's weaker, but it has got the daily pivot below. It does start selling off. But at the moment, what we're seeing here really is a game of two halves. Really, we've got the euro, the pound looking strong, yen still relatively strong, and sitting in there in that sort of cusp really, with the Aussie and the Canadian dollar certainly looking the weaker cousins. So that's how we sit at the moment. News-wise today, there's very little news out. This morning we got the final CPI for the Europe, which Eurozone, which is a non-news really. It never really kicks anything. We've then got, that's at 10 o'clock, then at 3:30 we've got crude oil inventories. Not too sure how they'll go, but I would be watching the Canadian dollar for those, that's for sure. And then that's pretty much it in terms of our training cycle. In terms of any special news today, I did not know about Theresa May's decision yesterday. I would have loved to have known. I will send her an email and ask could she let us know in the future. Okay, have a great day. Bye for now.